Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and as you can see by today's playmat, I think it pretty much speaks for itself on what today's deck profile is going to be. If you're a longtime subscriber to this channel or have known me for many years in person, you know who my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh waifu is, aka my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh girl is. It's Akiza. And most likely it will always be Akiza. But you know, this deck profile I'm doing has been put on the back burner for a long time, and I finally got around to doing it. But it has a lot of sentimental value with friends of mine, actually. This playmat was given to me. It's a 2015 Judge playmat. It was given to me by a good Judge friend of mine when I graduated college back in 2016. The Field Center was also given to me over a year ago from a good friend of mine for my birthday. So, yes, people who know me know I love Akiza. Yeah, she's bae. But also know, guys, that this deck profile is not just me gushing over Akiza. It has a lot of elements of good friends of mine. So thank you to all my friends for giving me my Yu-Gi-Oh! Akiza waifu stuff over the years. And without further ado, let us get into this deck profile, guys. Thank you for letting me gush over Akiza for a bit and just going down memory lane. But yes, guys, we're going to be doing a deck profile of Black Rose Dragon, aka Akiza's deck. So first off, we run 3 White Rose Dragon. White Rose Dragon, I was so happy when this came out fairly quickly. I was concerned that this was going to be one of those type of cards that takes, you know, a couple of years to come out because it was a jump promo, I think it was. But it came out fairly quickly for us over here in the TCG over a year ago. But it's very good because it can help set up plant stuff in the grave, and also you can easily bring it out into the field if you have a plant or dragon tuner. So just a good card. The cool thing about this deck is it uses pretty much mini, I'll call Black Rose monsters, you know, like Red Rose Dragon, White Rose Dragon, Blue Rose Dragon, which we run as a one of. So it runs these little mini dragon plant, I guess we could call it plant dragons. And then we're also using a plant engine in the deck. So it's really cool because it's kind of a combination of Akiza's Black Rose Dragon, like mini chibi versions, and just a good plant deck. So 3 White Rose Dragon, like I said. In addition to that, we run 3 Red Rose Dragon, which if you have been familiar with this deck for a long time, this and this combo off with each other fairly well. And then we also run 1 Blue Rose Dragon, which is the original OG chibi dragon. Now, some people don't run Blue Rose Dragon, and I get that. It's mainly here to help facilitate your Black Rose Dragon bringing it back out, which I find is pretty decent overall. You know, Black Rose Dragon's pretty good for blowing up field, and the fact that in this type of deck, you can use its secondary effect. I mean, this deck is made for Black Rose Dragon, per se, to bring out also just level 7 synchro monsters. But the 1 Blue Rose Dragon is nice as just a one of. I don't like it more than a one of, but we're just running it as a one of over here. So yeah, just 1 Blue Rose Dragon. It's a nice one of to help bring back your Black Rose and just do cool little plays. So that's all for your little chibi, you know, Black Rose Dragons, I'll call them. You know, we run pretty much 7 of them. On to your other support, your plant pretty much support. We run 3 Dark Rose Fairy. I've seen people run different ratios of this card for quite some time, actually. It's a fairy, actually. It's not a plant. That's something I've always had to point out to people. They think it's a plant because it's a plant-based deck. No, it's a fairy. But the fact of the matter is, it's still a good 3 of. I've seen people run 2 of, 1 of, 3 of. And I kept going back and forth for a while, and I decided to stick with it as a 3 of. I pretty much came down to, is it a 3 of or a 2 of? 3 of or a 2 of. And I pretty much said it's a 3 of. So I've been running it as a 3 of. It can easily be special out, bring out, use it for tuning, you know, synchro fodder. You just need to have a tuner pretty much on the field in this deck of a plant or dragon, which is pretty much everything. So yeah, you're pretty good there. So 3 Dark Rose. 3 Rose Girl. You know, the thing that took me a while for me to do this deck, and people are going to say, well, you know, this deck has been out for a while, Seto. Why did it take you so long since you like it so much? Well, there's a couple things. White Rose Dragon was announced. I waited for that, and by the time that came out, and I had just gotten done playtesting, Master Rule 5 was announced. I waited for that. And then this card was announced. And then I waited again after that. So you can see how this took a year and a half because things kept coming out and things kept changing in the game. And there was no time to just sit down and be like, okay, let's do this deck profile now. So that's why it took me so long, if you guys are curious. But Rose Girl fits perfectly well with this deck. It combos well with some of the dragons in the deck, especially White Rose Dragon for sending things, because you can easily bring it out, use it for synchro fodder, and just go off from there. It's also a tuner, so there's cool little tuner plays you can tune up into other things. So it's a staple 3-of in my opinion. I will say, saying that it's a staple 3-of, I have tried 2 of it in the deck, because I found initially through playtesting it was a little bricky, but at the end of the day I decided to go with 3 of it. But if you're playing around with the ratio 2, if you're playing this deck, if this is a deck you're building, play around with the ratio of Rose Girl, maybe even Dark Rose Fairy. More so Rose Girl, I would say, because I just see different people run different ratios, and personally I have tried that out. But at the end of the day, she's really good because she's very easy to get out from the hand or graveyard to help use as synchro fodder. So, and she's also a tuner, so that's awesome. 3 Lone Fire Blossom. It's a plant-based deck. Why would you not run Lone Fire? That's like saying that I'm running a zombie deck and I'm not running any zombie Mizukis, even if it's a 1-of or a 2-of, right? Like it's weird. You're running Blue Eyes White Dragon, but you're not running Blue Eyes. I think that's a better example. Like, is it even a Blue Eyes deck? You know, it's a plant. So Lone Fire fits perfectly well into this deck. The main things you're going to be bringing out, though, I find, are it's not as maybe as the Plant Princess deck I did earlier this year. It's not as integral as that, but it still works very well in the deck for tutoring things out from your deck. Also, being a level 3 does help us go into situations where you can go for certain synchros in the deck that are niche but decent. In addition to that, the fact that I would highly suggest not going Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire. I've played against people who have never played a plant deck, and all they do is just go Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire, and I had to say, stop doing that. That's not how you want to use this deck. You know, you want to tutor it out for whatever you have in hand. Now, maybe you want to go about that this way in this deck. If you have a Monster Reborn, yeah, that's cool. But otherwise, I wouldn't go Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire. We're not doing Quasar type of plays here, guys. We don't have Soul Charge anymore. If we had Soul Charge, yeah, then you go Lone Fire, Lone Fire, Lone Fire. That's pretty self-explanatory. I think people have forgotten about that because I've literally run into 2 people who I just gave this deck to try out, and I just saw that happen twice. And it just made me a little upset, so forgive me. And they had no reason to, if you're curious. They didn't have a Monster Reborn or anything. But Predaplant, Opal Scorpio, and Darling Cobra. We're running this in your deck because it can help search for instant fusion, which can help precipitate more plays. This is going to be one of your targets you'll be bringing out. So the 3 Ortho Scorpio and the 1 Darling Cobra. Konami, why hasn't this been made a holo yet? I'm still wondering, like, why has this not been made a super or anything? I've always wondered that. It's kind of been confused my mind why this is still a common, not a higher rarity. But I digress. 3 Darling Ortho Scorpio and 1 Darling Cobra. This is going to help you search out your instant fusion in the deck. So you're going to use that. You're going to be using Sea Monster of Theseus. If you want to freaking Mud Dragon, you can run that too. I tried that out. But you're mainly going to be using this to bring it out so you can go for different plays from there. So that's your ratio for your plants. So those are pretty much your plant engine. You run some other plant monsters in the deck just to help things out. So 2 Evil Swarm Mandragora, 1 Copy Plant, 1 World Carrier Weight Champion, and 1 Spore. So why are we running all of these? I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see better. Well, World Carrier Weight Champion is a great 1-of plant monster in any deck for its ability to be come back to the field and be used for different plays. Copy Plant is decent as a 1-of. This is also a needle fiber target, which is kind of cool. Evil Swarm Mandragora is easy, good plant fodder you can easily bring out to help go for different plays. And that's why I like it as a 2 of. Usually I don't run this card, but because I would usually run Hat Trigger and Damage Juggler and things of that nature, because this is a plant-based deck, this is why you're running this. And Spore, it's a good, like one of those good plant monsters that can help you go for different plays. Also a level 1 tuner as well. So just these are good little things you can do, guys, to help go for different plays. So just want to go over the level 1 plants. For hand traps, I'm running 2 Nebaru. And we're running 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring and 2 Nebaru. So why are we running this? Well, and I don't know when it's coming out, but if, let's just say, for example, Crossed Out Designator came out, I probably would play around with some of the ratios of the cards and drop the 2 Nebaru. But I have to wait to see when that card comes out because it's not out yet. I was playing around with this deck because I was going to profile it, and then Call by the Grave got hit recently. So I was playing around with different cards, different ratios. I was trying Infinite Impermanence. I was trying all these different things. And at the end of the day, I decided to go for double Nebaru, because Nebaru really could help you out a lot more, especially in a deck that's very combo-oriented. If something gets stopped, you can just Nebaru their field. It can help break boards. And I found a lot of people currently in just playtesting were building boards, so Nebaru was helping me crack some boards. Ash Blossom is self-explanatory, I feel like. It's a good generic hand trap you can run in anything. If you wanted to, you have your DD Crows, you have your Effect Veilers, you got your Gammas, you got your other Ghost Girls. You can run anything, if depending upon what you're facing, what the current meta is for that time of day, so to speak, and whatever. But I just like Ash Blossom because it's going to hit a multitude of different things. So these are just hand traps I'm running. Like I said, Nebaru's been working out pretty well actually though. So it's just a good generic hand trap you run as a 2 of and not a 3 of because you don't want it to brick. Onto your spells, we run 3 Frozen Rose, which these are European copies that look gorgeous because they're super, super dark and they look super, it makes Black Rose Dragon look evil. Card's amazing. Such a good card. And it's searchable. You run 3 of it. Pretty straightforward there. 1 Black Rose Garden, 1 Instant Fusion. So let's go down the 1-ofs. So Black Rose Garden, Instant Fusion, Call by the Grave, Foolish Burial, Upstart, Monster Reborn. Let me scoot this all over so you guys can all see this properly here. Alright. Monster Reborn. I think it's self-explanatory, especially in a plant-based deck. Upstart Goblin. I'm going to make this a 39 card deck. Let me draw a little bit, man. Foolish Burial. Let me set up for plays. Call by the Grave. Stops hand traps. It's at 1. You run it. Instant Fusion. It's going to help. You're going to use this to search out you're using your Predaplant engine. You're going to use that to search it out here. And then you're going to go for your Sea Monster of Theseus so you can go for different plays there. And Black Rose Garden. It's pretty much searchable. It's a good 1-of in the deck. There used to be more decks that utilize Black Rose Garden back in the day. That was a thing, but not so much now. But it's a good 1-of for the different kind of plays you can do using Black Rose Garden. So I like it as a 1-of in the deck still. So that's all your 1-of spells pretty much there. And your last card you run in your extra deck, your main deck, is 1 Blooming of the Darkest Rose. This is another card that is searchable in the deck, which is really cool. And you run it as a 1-of. So it's really good because it can help do different little things, and you can reuse it. So good 1-of card in the deck. Onto the extra deck, guys. We run our Black Rose Akiza Field Center, our Signer Dragon token. We run 2 Black Rose Dragon. Yes, that's an ultimate rare. I don't really care for the ghost. I don't know why. I just never have cared for the old ghost ones. They always get damaged, and I always prefer the old alties. That's just me. But alti Black Rose and the Secret 10 promo. We're also running, guys, in addition to that, 1 Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, which is the manga version of Black Rose, which is actually a good card. F.A. Darn Dragster, because it's a pretty good card. Cyber Dragon Quantums. This is good for against Link based decks, so just good one of. Splendid Rose. This is just a tech option you can try out. It does take a little bit of effort to making Splendid Rose, but it can win you games when you're able to make it. So I do like it as a one of in this deck. It's really cool. It has won me games, and I do like it. One Garden Rose Maiden. This is a good one of. This works with your Black Garden, if you're wondering. Actually has gone up in price because of the artwork, I've been told. We also running, guys, for your level 8s. We're running Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, as well as Cyframe Lord Omega. These are your level 8 synchro monsters. Also, we're running Trishula Dragon of the Ice Bearers. You can make Trishula fairly easy in this deck, and that's why we're running it. For your links, we're running Amorphage Jasmine, and then one Cross Rose Dragon. These are just two really good cards for this deck. This one especially because it's pretty much made for this deck, and this is just good generic plant support. We're also running, lastly, your Christian Hauki Fibrax, or aka Needle Fiber, as well as your Bulbasaur Dragon. And lastly, we're running our Sea Monster of Theseus. Now, I will say for Borolo Dragon, you can run some other things. I've tried out Appaloosa. That has been a thing I tried out. You can run just about anything you want, guys, in there for your good, beat stick level 4 Link monster. But it's there. You make it often. So that's it for the main deck, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy this deck profile. This is one of my favorite decks I've been waiting to profile for a while now, and I'm so happy I have profiled it for you guys. I'll definitely profile this deck in the future. That's a given, I think, because of my love for this deck. But I hope you guys all enjoyed it, really, because this deck was one of those decks that it took a while to put together because of everything going on, but I was able to get it profiled and all taken care of. And I hope you all enjoyed it just as much as I did profiling it. So, till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, go Akiza, go Black Rose Witch, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody, and good luck dueling to all of you.